So tell us about the emus.
We lost that war.
Yeah.
Don't talk about
Okay.
that.
The birds?
That's a real thing.
It's a joke.
Is it?
Yeah.
See, I don't know.
Huh? Same?
If you look it up on the internet, it's like got a full story behind it, but it's not real.
That's exactly what the emus want you to think. Today we're talking about that time that Australia declared war on a bunch of flightless birds. Yes, this actually happened. Commonly referred to as the Great Emu War, it wasn't really all that great and it barely qualifies as a war. But first an ad. This video is brought to you by Zydax Custom Gaming Computers. Not trying to brag, but I happen to think they're the best. Why? Well, for one, they're all built right here in America with a phenomenal warranty. And for two, it's the only computer company that's ever let me play with a flamethrower. And when I say play, I mean operate in a safe and controlled environment with a fire suppression system that I may or may not have almost set off. Anyways, back to the emus. Now, if you don't know what an emu is, it's this thing right here. It's basically an ostrich from Wish.com, or a black and white Charlie Chaplin version of a cassowary, if that's what you're into. And if you don't know what an Australian is, well then good for you. Just kidding. That was really punching below the equator, and I apologize. Okay, I'm done. I mean, probably not, but we'll see how this goes. Anyways, our story takes place in Australia in 1932. This is the height of the Great Depression, and like many other countries, Australia is not doing that great. Food is scarce and people are hungry. Luckily, they live in Australia, a lush landscape that will indefinitely provide for them. And when I say provide, I mean it spawned an angry mob of 20,000 6-foot-tall devil pigeons that tried to eat all their crops, subsequently starving everyone. And I'm not just throwing in cool words, an actual group of emus is called a mob. That's how gangster these fucking birds are. Physiologically speaking, they're basically fucking dinosaurs. They can run 30 miles an hour, it's basically impossible to hit them with a headshot, and between their feathers and muscles, they're so dense it takes 10 bullets to put one down. Like I said, they're basically cassowaries, and one of those things killed Florida Man. That should be all you need to know. So the farmers, realizing that these roided out pigeons are about to force everybody into starvation, aka the communism diet, decide to call up the Minister of Defense and ask for help. He comes up with the great idea of dispatching the army with machine guns to go kill all these birds. Not a terrible idea. As an American, that seems reasonable to me. I mean, you got a problem? Just shoot it till it goes away. That's just science. It's a lollipop method. How many licks does it take? Now, this is part of the story where people like to play it off like the entire Australian military deployed to go fight these birds in epic battle. And that is simply not what happened. They literally only sent 3 dudes with 2 Lewis machine guns and 1 truck. Not 300, not 3,000, 3 fucking dudes. And they only gave him 2 Lewis machine guns and 1 truck. And then, to top it all off, they only gave him 10,000 rounds of ammunition to go up against 20,000 birds. So right off the bat, the math already isn't mathing. Luckily for us, however, they did send a camera guy. And this dude could apparently see into the future because he immediately started trolling these guys the entire time. Go ahead and play the tape.
The scouts of the advancing army have keen eyesight. And in order to get close to the main body, our lads have to do some real stalking.
Now, despite the camera guy openly mocking them to their face, they get to work and start blasting.
Now they're retiring.
God damn, I can hear the ringing in that guy's ears. Now, this continues to go on for a little over a month. Then when they finally run out of ammunition, they've killed 986 of these birds. At which point, the Australian government deems that this isn't effective enough, so then they implement a bounty system and civilians are allowed to hunt them and cash in their hides for money. And then that was it. That's the end of the fucking story. And then the internet goes and plays it off like it's some huge loss on the Australian military. Like, that doesn't even make sense. The scoreboard was 986-0. And then the game ended when the people winning decided they were bored and went home. It sounds like a W to me. Like, imagine with me, if you will, you're at a house party, you and 20 of your friends. Jason Voorhees shows up and murders one of your friends. And then he decides to leave on his own accord because he's bored. Are you and your friends gonna stand around like, wow, that was a great victory for us, we've won? No, that's fucking dumb. Buh! You had to kill all 20,000 of them for it to be a victory. Buh! That is the dumbest logic on the planet when you apply it to literally any other situation ever. You know what? Let me just show you. Let's do this for fun. World record for hot dog eating. 63 hot dogs in one sitting. Pfft. What a loser. He didn't eat every hot dog on Earth in one sitting. How did I get tricked into defending Australia in this? I mean, I don't think Australia lost by any stretch of the imagination, but I do think America could have done it better. I mean, option A, you'll just treat it like we treat feral hogs. Start selling tickets so civilians can shoot them out of a helicopter with machine guns. Not only are you not spending tax dollars to get rid of these things, you're actually making money. And then, option 2, you just start a proxy war. Just send over millions, maybe even billions of dollars worth of military hardware to the emu's natural enemy. In this case, it'd probably be the kangaroos. And then, maybe we'll send over some Green Berets to train the kangaroos how to use the weapons appropriately. Bada bing, bada boom, the kangaroos do all the dirty work for you. PETA can't even get mad. Okay, we're getting sidetracked. In conclusion, the Great Emu War did in fact happen, but it is greatly exaggerated by the internet. And I'm not gonna lie, I think the Australians are blaming the emus because of it. You see, before the Great Emu Civil War, they were considered an endangered species and protected. And now their conservation classification is who gives a fuck. And some of the only nuclear tests ever conducted in Australia were conducted at a place called Emu Field. I'm just saying, if you're an emu and you're somehow watching this, I wouldn't be fucking around too much because you might actually find out. Thank you for watching. Best way to support the channel is go buy some merch at thefatelectrician.com. Quack bang out.